I just realized my mic was muted that whole time. That sucks. Whoops. How's it going, everyone? Trying to think how long I've been doing this for. Ah, we lost at least 10 minutes, but that's okay. I guess that was bound to happen at some point. I'm just glad I didn't go a whole stream without mic audio. Shoot, so I didn't get to relay any of the information I've been talking about for the last 10 minutes. We're testing out the Ebuy7 stuff here again. The last time I applied it, I spread it out on tinfoil basically, and then I let it cure overnight on the tinfoil, and then we used that to apply it to the CPU and GPU die. And it made me realize I wasn't really following the recommended manufacturer application technique. So, and the results also were not as good as I was thinking they might be, which might mean that maybe this stuff is not the real deal, but we're gonna try and figure that out. Okay, we got our spreader. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna put this down and then try and do it in a single pass if possible. I'm just gonna plan this thing here is gonna be bumping my hand, but that's okay. Should be all right still. Yeah, actually that worked pretty good. I'm gonna leave that. I'm really happy with that spread. And I don't want to, yeah, play with it too much and then make it worse. So I'm gonna put this on a shelf. I'll put a plastic cover over top of it just so it doesn't run into any issues that way. And then we'll go for doing the GPU. Okay, just one sec here. October. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Welcome to the stream. You just got PTM7958SP from Amazon. Looks real enough. Have Razer Blade Pro 2014 17-inch laptop. Only 2 small flat heat pipes per chip. Yeah, only 2. GPU stays cool at 65 until load. CPU throttles up to 85. Fans loud. Yeah. I mean, and also part of the problem is with laptops, gaming laptops specifically, they run hot and the fans generally do go pretty fast. PTM didn't do anything, same temps. Think it's the poor design of the heat transfer in laptop. We'll get round P pipes and add them. That's something that I've been contacted about, or yeah, from someone else, or it might have been you, I'm not sure, on a different forum. They kind of ran into the same thing. They changed to a phase change on their laptop. It similarly only had a couple heat pipes, and then they had thermal issues. Well, actually, they noticed slightly improved temps on in their situation, but it was still quite hot with the CPU. So it could be a case of inadequate cooling design by the manufacturer, which I would argue there's like a decent amount of laptops that don't have adequate cooling that choose aesthetic over function sometimes. If they don't have enough like back venting or like intake cross-sectional area. But now, did you test the PTM for quite a while? Did you give it like a good few hours of load to melt it? And if you did that, did you see any gradual improvement to the temperature rather than initial startup, or was it just kind of like a flat line? Oh, what am I trying to do? Guys, I need to take these screws out. It's a good thing I didn't apply too much force there. Sorry. I'm rusty at this. I haven't done this in a few days. Well, probably closer to a week. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're just joining, I'm going to be retesting the Ebuy7 stuff. Just because the results weren't great. But I also didn't follow the recommended application from the manufacturer, right? I applied it to tinfoil and then used that to just like a peel film. And maybe that's an okay method, but we're going to basically do the spread here and then we'll see if it gets better or not. And then we'll judge it on that. Basically, I don't want to post bad results for a product where I think there's a chance that it was a user error on my part for application method, so got to be as fair as possible. That being said, I mean, I don't know. I thought the tinfoil film was a good idea. Yeah, that just jumped out of the position just now. All right, on the GPU, I'll change the, I'm just gonna zoom into here for a second. I'll change the focus in a second. Yeah, this got like a really nice little spread pattern. There's a matching very thin film on the die itself. It looks pretty good. And I'm just gonna get a flashlight on here so you guys can kind of get a look at it. So it's just really, yeah, really thin film. The stuff we're looking at is the AliExpress large sheet of PTM that I bought. Joel Tober says, yep, many thermal cycles. I've been watching your videos and others regarding the burn-in period PTM. Fun to try it though. We'll do kids PCs with it soon. Yeah, that'd be a good long life application for it. For sure. I love how this just like scrapes off the die like frosting on glass. If you guys have ever seen like windows decorated in that light frosting type material, it's kind of similar, scraping off of the razor blade. Let's get the dropper going. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend and week, I guess, since I was gone. Not that I necessarily am expecting to make people's weeks better, but I just hope you had a good one. That's all. Mine was pretty busy with work, so it's yeah, I've gotten a few little like odds and ends done with testing for sure. And I've been working on updated spreadsheets as well. Well, I'm still creating the master sheet. I haven't applied it to the old tests yet, but all right, let's go ahead and spread some phase change here on the die. You know what, I'm gonna do it this way. Just gonna make sure there's no dirt there. The fact that this is at an angle probably bugs a few of you guys, but sorry about that. It's just what's going to work best for the spread today on this thing. Okay, we still have some left over from the CPU. I'm just going to... Oh, interesting. Wow. Maybe not. We're not going to reuse that. I'm just going to wipe that off. It actually sort of felt like it was already stiffened up a little bit there. That was impressive. Bit more pressure here. Yeah, that's a pretty good spread. I'm happy with that. I suppose if it came down to it, you know, between applying with the sheet and the syringe, if the 7958 is actually better than 7950 that we can already get in sheet material, this isn't that bad to use, right? It's pretty soft. It was fairly easy to spread there, especially with that wide spreader. I probably wouldn't hesitate to go with the paste style. The only caveat being if you're willing to not use your device, or get, actually you can get a blow dryer and dry the phase change with that, with heat, kind of like heat cured or whatever. I think it's 15 minutes at 50 degrees Celsius, something like that. So that's doable at home. You don't have to wait the 24 hours, but I am, because yeah, that's what I'm going to do this time. Because I still have a bunch of work to do on an Excel sheet, so... Which I might start at the end of the video here. We'll see. Guess I'll start part of it, and then if it gets boring, then I'll maybe end the stream, but we'll go for a little while longer here. Oh, plus we got some exciting putties to try out pretty soon, right after we get a couple more tests done here for core applications. We'll jump back, do a couple putties, and then work through all the thermal pastes. And I'll probably have to buy a bunch more paste than I already have, but that's okay. Okay, the TGPP10 is reshaped. I'm going to go put this card on a shelf really quick here, and I'm going to put a lid over top to cover it so that dust doesn't collect here, and I'll be right back. All right, what do we have in the box today? It's exciting. Sorry, I just gotta do a little bit of cleanup first. You know what they say, cleaning as you go is the best way. That way there's not so much cleanup at the end. Okay, I'll at least take one of these out of the box. So my order of Upsiren UTP-8 finally arrived. I say finally, it was only ordered maybe 15, 16 days ago. But then it just took a tiny little bit to get through customs, which sometimes happen with some of the newer products whenever I order them. If I've only ordered, like the first time I ordered JE thermal putty, it took forever to get through for some reason. And then the second time it was pretty quick, so yeah. And we've also got some Helensei HY234 that came in. We'll have to test that. And oddly enough, my order of LTP15, which is a blue thermal putty, sold on Amazon, or sorry, sold on AliExpress, it didn't get delivered at all. And then today I got the notification that it was like so far in where they just auto assume that it was completed delivery. And then I had to contact them and let them know that that didn't happen yet, so I might have to reorder that. I don't really care if, well, it'd be nice if they send out another one, but we'll see. Worst case, I'll just buy it again. I think it was only 13 bucks or something like that, so. Okay, let's take a quick look at this. Let's zoom in here. This is Upsiren UTP, which stands for Upsiren Thermal Putty 8. It's got, yeah, specs here. Let's see. Can we focus a bit better than that? Oh dear. Maybe not. The problem is we're so zoomed in, so how about I do this instead? Sorry, I'm just doing a horrible job of holding this still. Okay, 3.5 grams per cubic centimeter. Minimum bond line thickness 0.1. Voltage breakdown 8,000 volts per millimeter. And operating range minus 55 to plus 200. So, yeah, let's. It's got a little snowflake, which makes sense. You're trying to keep something cold. Yeah. Oh, shoot. What am I doing? Gotta get that focus going. Okay, let me get some gloves on here. Because, yeah, we're about to play with some thermal putty. It's exciting times. I think I've already tested this stuff. I tested a sample of what this was to turn out to be, but they could have made further changes since then, so I'm not really sure. So we're going to retest it. Yeah, it's oh man, it's interesting. So like when you first scoop it out, there's like, actually I guess it's just cold, that's why. Probably because it's winter outside. It definitely is quite soft. And I mean, that's a massive chunk. You would never use that much on a, well, to roll out. You'd still use that much on a GPU maybe if it was a 3090. Yeah, it's nice clean stuff, right? That light film, that's normal. That's what you want to see. That means it's going to adhere well, and really like get in all the tiny little crevices of the GPU. But I'm excited to test this out on the GPU. I wonder if they made any further adjustments to it since my last test of this stuff with the not engineering sample, I guess you'd call it like a prototype sample. But anyways, it feels really nice. And I bought 200 grams of it for, it was like 83 Canadian shipped, I think. So pretty good price actually. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, let's start going through my new sheet here, and maybe you guys can, I don't know, I'm still like building it, but we can like hang out. If you guys have any questions, you can let me know, or comments or anything. I've got a new keyboard here, which is fun. And let's see, let's get up the Excel sheet. So I'm just going to display capture. You guys can see what I'm looking at. Hopefully that's not too bright for you. I might change the coloring, but so what we're looking at here, this is the chart for the stuff that we just pulled off the CPU and GPU, the AliExpress Honeywell PTM7958SP, and each one of these numbers on the bottom counts for 1 hour. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I make it hot for about 15-20 minutes, and then I ran it overnight until I, slept at night, whatever. But so this is the CPU temperature over time, but here's the CPU temperature delta over ambient over time. And still, check out this curve here. It has that up here as well. But this is the chart we're going off of, right? Look at that. Within the first hour and a half, it got a significant melt, which I've previously looked at the points, and it looks like it's about 6 degrees Celsius melt over the first hour and a half. So most of the time your PTM is going to be, your phase change is going to get most of the melt in during that time. It depends which phase change you go with though, of course, because that layered, right, it melted closer to 70 degrees Celsius, and so it didn't really get a good melt until I cranked up the temperatures to like 90 plus range. So anyways, that's plotted over, I think this is a 24 hour, or it might be just 20 hour. Either way, basically we've got the data on here now, and I've reordered it so that before I had basically the OEM, or like the stock ordering of them, the items, and it made it so I had to always check for certain columns and like delete them, whatever, which was kind of annoying. So now we've got the, let's see, date and time, GPU fan intake 1, or fan 1 intake temp. I've renamed these within HW info so that they actually record the name of the stuff. So these are pulled from the Aqua Computer Quadro. So we got fan 1, fan 2, and then we have the CPU intake temperature. And then from there, I'm logging the CPU data right away. At least part of it, because there's like a ton of data that you can log. It's all being recorded, but I also have these in the order that makes it easy to see when I'm taking a screenshot. So then we start with GPU stuff here. We got temp, memory, hotspot, thermal throttle limit, which is just saying where it throttles at. the power and stuff. And then, yeah, that just keeps going on. It still scrolls all the way over and has tons of data. And so what we're doing is we are populating this sheet. It's going to take me a while to build because I'm brute forcing it here. But in this column, it's looking at each full hour and of each point and averaging that data out. So you can see averaged from this cell for that hour what the frequency was, which should always be 4300 for these tests. And then we've got the CPU power, how many watts it was burning, the T-die temperature, the CPU intake temperature, and then the delta, and that's just calculated here. This average minus this average equals the delta. Then on this side, we're also taking the core temperatures over that time frame, right? That 2 to 1782, which is the first hour. That's 1 hour mark there. I'm just going to press enter so I don't ruin anything here. And it's taking that for each of the 12 cores, numbers 0 to 11. And then doing that, and then minusing the F4, the ambient intake temperature. And it'll spit out what that individual core average was. This value here in this column, and I'll color this something a bit better, is the average of all 12 of these for that hour, delta. And then this column, confusingly enough, because there's a lot of stuff to look at now, is the difference between using the T-die temperature, let's see, this one here, T-die, versus using the average core temperature. We're going to see if the trend, you know, that first warm-up hour, I'm not too worried about that. Let's see if the trend is always 4 degrees separate. And if this changes, then we need to make a decision. What do we consider more accurate? 12 temperature sensors that are averaged out, or a single temperature sensor? And I think it's probably this. But let's just see what happens when we build this sheet. So you can see here, this is the third hour, starting from 3565 to row 5346. So luckily I only have to do all of this work once. And if you guys find this boring, don't feel like you have to stick around, but if you have a question or anything, just let me know. And while I'm typing, I can definitely read comments. And yeah, chat with you guys if you want. So the funny thing about pasting in this value here, to you guys it might look like they're out of order, right? It's showing the larger number here, the smaller one on the right. But Excel does this thing where it just auto resorts them, so it makes it really easy to for me to do this work basically. So we're gonna do 8, 9, 8, 9, 10. Right on. So as long as we replace the smaller number, then it'll still be calculating that next range from 7129 all the way to 8910. I'm looking forward to when we're done the phase changes and we're back onto pastes for testing, because this just takes a while, because I feel like I have to do like 6 hours and then burn it hot for 15 minutes and then do another 6 hours. Gotta do that for the CPU and the GPU just to see what the burn-in requirements are for each phase change. Looks good. So this 7th hour here should be the hot hour. So when we enter this data in, we'll see how the values change. The wattage should probably be the same. Okay, it was actually a bit more, but we're going to see a higher CPU temperature here. Now that's 15 minutes of hot with another, what, probably 10 minutes of cool down, and then the rest at a cooler temperature. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's not showing 90s. It's like 78 average there. And that was, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just in this time frame here, which lines up with the chart there. Perfect. Just once. Oh, code string. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, one of the things that sucks about using this stuff, it's great, but a gauge of pace just... Oh, job's fine. Got to give it some time. It's great, but to gauge if a pace job's fine. Yeah, that's right. You gotta like basically be patient with it to see if the thing that you did worked. It's nice seeing this hour and a half of like significant melt. You know, even the first hour. No, hour and a half. That's still a pretty good. It's really steep here. It's curving out and becoming more gradual. You know, it might be hard to see, but from here, averaged out to here, this looks just slightly lower. So it did benefit from that extra heat, getting down to a cooler average T delta. Just from my eyes, I can see it's not much. We'll see how it calculates out. This is also nice, right? We're going to be showing 24 hours if we record it that long, and the deltas during that time, so we can see the trend basically. So even here, 44, 42.8, 42.6, 42.7, 42.6, 42.8. You know, it's funny. It goes back and forth, but either way. Sorry, I got lost track there. I got distracted. So as time goes on, I can definitely see these charts and like the way that we look at the data to become more complex. But some of it is out of necessity to try and get the most accurate information to you guys. Well, all of it, really. That's the only point. I'm not going to do something that I don't think is of any benefit. That being said, my what I put a value on for testing is more than you guys might think. Like, even if I think a product is bad and not going to be a high contender, for instance, like KPT8, right? I did it on the hot plate. I've never tested on a GPU. I'm not expecting great things at all from it, but the reason I probably still want to test it is just, it's like an on-ramp, so that when I make a video about testing it, and then someone a couple years from now Google's like KPT8 thermal putty or paste or plaster or whatever, they're gonna have a resource that they can find, hopefully, whether it's just my video or some people commenting on it, and they can kind of see the relative performance and then know, oh, maybe that one's not going to be the best product for to put on a GPU. You know, a lot of people still don't know what thermal putty is, and we gotta spread the word as best we can. At least I think that's what I'm trying to do still. But I gotta be careful I'm not just always like on people's YouTube videos posting comments saying like, oh, come check out my channel, you know. I can't say that. or I shouldn't. That'd be like a rude thing to do to that creator. So I generally just drop like low-key hints like, oh, you know, those pads are okay, but maybe you should try thermal putty or that kind of stuff. And then just let them search that word if that piques their interest, and you know, whether they find their way here or somewhere else. I think we're starting to get more information out there, which is good. Oh man, struggling today. It was a long day. I had to do my first aid recertification. Well, actually, I'm basically doing the course from fresh, but because I got to do tomorrow as well. And then I got to do H2S following day. Because they're only good for 3 years. It sucks because after you've done them like 8 or 10 times, it gets pretty boring to do the courses. Like, I mean, the instructors try their best to make it interesting because I think they know that a bunch of us, you know, just get to keep doing the same training over and over. Code string, I've been doing well though. Saw your stream pop up just recently, so I thought I'd join and pop in. Yeah, good to see you, man. Occasionally busy, just waiting on some components from AliExpress for a slime. Wait, from AliExpress and Slime VR. What's Slime VR? Is that like a VR store that's online? I've been giving suggestions to a couple persons who are thinking about using pads. Consider putties lately. Yeah, and like, if it feels right, you can refer them to this, but I guess I would say, well, or no, how does it work? I shouldn't go on videos and stuff and post, like, go check out my video or channel. I can't remember what the moral, not the moral boundary, but where the boundary of, like, politeness is. Yeah, I think you guys can probably get away with, like, posting, hey, go check out Snarkstomy. Don't feel like you have to, though. Only if it speaks to you, or if it feels right, I guess. I've been seeing suggestions on Reddit and a few other places from people, so... Well, it's helpful if someone's like, hey, you know, I'm having trouble with these pad thicknesses, and then starts asking about thermal putty. I think that's like the ideal time to be like, check out this data, see what you think, and then, you know, go with whatever you want to go with, kind of thing. Oh, code string, did you... I don't know exactly when you joined the stream, but you might want to... Well, we were playing... Hold on, I'm just going to take screen capture off for a second here. We're playing with Ebuy7 UTP-8. I just put some gloves on, and it was like really malleable, like chewing gum. And yeah, I think it's nice consistency to work with. Once I get a few more of these phase change retests done, then we're gonna probably put that, and also Helden's-Eye HY234 on the VRAM for testing. So let's go back to here. Open source store project thing, intending to create body trackers with official BN0085 IMU sold by Slim. Cool. Yeah, so we reapplied the Ebuy7 stuff. We're gonna let that cure overnight. Yeah, that's the new stuff from Ebuy7. It's the improved putty. Well, one of them, because there's going to be another one. But here, let's go back to here. Do you remember? I did a bunch of streams, and I was testing out the different viscosities of some Ebuy7 putties. I'm just going to find a couple of them here. There was like a whole bunch of pink putties and gray putties. Oh, that's U6. Yeah, I did this like, I don't know, was it like a month or a month and a half ago or something like that? There's more. There's lots. I have too much buddy. That's not me trying to brag. I don't know. It's starting to pile up. I don't feel like I can throw it out. I mean, I would never throw it out. It's really good stuff, but yeah, so there's more than just these. There's like another 4 or 5, I think. And after I tested a bunch of these out, they sent me basically something that is like this one. And that was supposed to be the improved version in like slightly different recipe. And then they were like, you know, test this out. We think it's like even better than UX. I tested it. It wasn't quite better than UX. It was, but it was definitely better than U6. And so I showed them my my data and stuff. And then they, you know, they're a little bit disappointed that it wasn't. They thought it was going to be better than both the pink and the gray. And it's a slightly different pink. And but I just let them know, you know, that's what the product was at. And I'm not sure if they made further changes to it or not. Even if they didn't, it was pretty good. It was not quite as high performing as CXH 1300. So we'll see if they changed it further. That'll be kind of exciting to test out. But anyways, back to the charts. So this chart, like I said, we're looking at AliExpress purchased Honeywell PTM7958 sheet, 50 sheet. There's the ambient, and we're working on we're creating this sheet, the standard sheet, which takes some time. Better make sure I save every once in a while. It's a lot of data to save, unfortunately. Okay, 24 to 26, yeah. I just don't want to lose track of what I'm doing here and then mess it up. Of course, I'll go through it all and double check just to make sure before I actually go and use it on other data. This will be nice though, because then I only have to paste in one tab. Oh, I should show you guys the GPU version of this. You guys can see where this is going, right? It's just doing each hour. And then I'll do the same thing for here. We'll see if the trend difference between the average of the cores, being this value, is much different from the T-die temperature delta. And if it stays at a constant 4 after the warm-up, then I think we can say this testing is pretty accurate, but we might still go with the average core temperature instead, because maybe that would be a better sampling of data with those 12 sensors versus just one. But let's take a look. I'll save that again just to be sure. And I'm going to open up the GPU tab here. Just going to find it. GPU core tests. Okay. So I don't think I actually have... Yeah. It's colorful. This is just the... yeah, I just did like a... whatever that is. A 12-second recording. Just to get the order of the items. But this is the GPU one, so it's going to do the same 24 hours. I've already populated all these to grab the data from the correct points. And then it's going to show GPU core and VRAM. Actually, I might even add in hotspot, we'll see. But I've got core VRAM and hotspot T-deltas here. Let's see. Yeah, T-delta. So this sheet's going to be, it's just going to show a lot more data, and then I don't have to have another one to do it, you know, and logging up to 24 hours if I wanted to. And so generally I'll do the 6 hours. After the 6 hour mark, I'll limit the fan on the GPU. I change the curve to be baseline 50% fan speed, and then at 95 degrees Celsius I have it ramp up to 100, and so it gets to a hot point and it just like goes on that like vertical ramp wherever it needs to go to keep the temperature in check. It usually gets to 92. Do that for 15-20 minutes, and then I'll continue. And with the GPU I have to remove the memory overclock to do that hot burn, otherwise it'll crash. And then after I get the fans back up to 85%, I gotta wait till it cools down, and then I reapply the VRAM overclock, which should show up in the watts. If I mess it up, it'll be lower watts. I should probably add something. Maybe I'll put memory frequency average here or something, just to as a quality check, just to make sure I don't forget to apply it. We should make sure that that shows up in the chart too. But yeah, so that's the GPU chart, and I'll be basically, yeah, I'll throw the test data in there for that. I suppose we could do that now. Might as well. Let's go GPU tests. AXP. Just thinking about it. I'm just gonna turn off screen capture for one moment, just because I'm not sure if when I go save as, actually maybe it'd be fine. Oh no, yeah, I have to be careful. Okay. Calc. Okay, let's go back to screen capture. So this is the Furmark Emerald. Is that? Yes, there is. There is something new from Upsiren. It's the UTP-8, Upsiren Thermal Putty 8. And we're gonna test it out hopefully next week here. Sooner if I can, but unfortunately I got a lot of stuff I'm doing between now and then. We're gonna try. Looks like that's saving correctly. Okay, let's find this one here. Create copy. This is exciting. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Mark calc to the end. Okay, now we need to select this. Control C, escape, click somewhere, Control A, Control F, replace, put this, Control V, there, data, replace all. I'm gonna guess like 200,000. Let's see, I don't know how. Okay, 188,949 replacements. So that should basically be what happens every time, I think. Yeah. Close. Okay, we've got data to 32. Let's go to 30. Select data. 30,000. It's 3,000, eh? Yeah, here we go. We're going to give it some time to think about that. Now click over here. Select data. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, this is where I... That's where I got stuck away from the computer for 2 hours while it was running hot, which kind of is unfortunate, but... That, sometimes that happens, guys. I'll probably make a note of that. In worst case, if I have to retest it, I mean, we will do it. That's a bit to look at, eh? All those, yeah, I should probably... What I should do is go like this, maybe. Let's be core VRAM. Core VRAM. Let's do this. Let's just see what this would look like. Let's go to there. Okay, that's a better chart to look at for you guys, hey? Why does it look like UTGX? Oh, that's the... Well, it's... Good question, but it's definitely not a paste. Let's get it out. Let me go back to here. This will save you guys from having to go back and watch the whole thing and then fast forward to the point where I'm playing with the putty. I don't mind showing it twice. It's cool stuff. Okay, this is the UTP8 Upsiren Thermal Putty 8. I'm not going to put it on the blue mat this time and roll it out. I'll just roll it out in my hands. But it's definitely a putty, right? It's not a paste. It doesn't leave a massive mess. It stays together really well. Yeah, it's nice and soft. You guys are going to have no problem compressing this. Man, I can't... I always get excited with when I'm playing with thermal putty. It's fun stuff. But yeah, UTGX is a thermal paste. But they do look like a similar color of pink, for sure. Okay, so instead of having a chart that looks really jagged like this, and I think Taylor Sharp was mentioning that this would be worthwhile to try and improve. But we're going to do this with this as well. We're going to go core VRAM and hotspot, which I think, yeah, I do have in there correct. And we're just going to do the hour averages because this is really hard to look at. And we might do this for the CPU one as well, most likely. Most likely. Enter. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that's like probably a better or easier chart to read? Does it almost look like this is slightly worse than in here? It's hard to tell for sure. It's the core T delta. Core T delta at 6 hours, which is right over here. 3794. Interesting. I mean, this kind of shows these are the hot hours. I'm not worried about that. This kind of shows how, you know, even I could try it as best I can to make this like accurate, but we're still going to have a plus or minus. All right, I'm not worried about that. That's the warm-up hour. Hour 2 to hour 6. There's an average of 37.7. Maybe I'll do another thing where I could show min-max average for the entire time of these values and deltas. But we're still only going to be, you know, plus or minus half a degree, or maybe, sorry, plus or minus a quarter of a degree, possibly. I'll have to look at the spread of information, or the spread of data here, but I think that what this is showing is my results should definitely be taken with a grain of salt, plus or minus 0.25 of a degree. And that could change the order of the charts themselves. Let's see, as an example, the latest for Mark 1, which hopefully that's showing on screen now. Trying to see if this has, yeah, so 0.25 of a degree. Some of these are spread out far enough that you could be sure that they're not going to move too much, but you know, some in here would definitely change order, which I guess I was expecting. But anyways, yeah, that shows that the test results are only as accurate as I can currently make them, until I can have a perfectly stable temperature controlled room that and humidity and all those other things, and take out as many variables as possible, which I can't afford to do that right now. So we're gonna have to stick with what I'm capable of showing in my tests. And I think, like, ignoring the hot hours, it would probably be best to take an average of like before melt, do like, let's say hour 2 to hour 6 averaged out. That's 37.7 basically. And 37.7. So this shows there's no improvement for and this was AliExpress. I forgot how much data has to save. Good times. Kind of sucks. My throat starts to feel like it's starting to feel like I'm maybe coming down with a cold. I don't know. Something. I wonder if I got something from like the 30 people in first aid class for 8 hours. Probably. Good times. Okay. I think that's all I had planned for tonight, guys. I need to go to bed here pretty quick, and we've got a long day tomorrow as well. But we're gonna let that Ebuy7 PTM7958 syringe type. We're gonna let that cure overnight, and then tomorrow I'll reassemble the card and the test bench, and we'll test it out from there. I'm going to continue blinking on here for a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to call the stream here. So hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, and it was nice chatting with you guys. Take care.